Today on Veterans Stand Up, I'm talking about effective communication with David Doerrier, an Air Force veteran and a professional communicator. So David, one of the things we talked about is we want veterans to succeed. So imagine, if you will, they've just joined a new company and they've been given the chance to make a presentation, 10 to 15 minutes, say, information. And we know how important first impressions are based on this communication. What advice or tips would you offer to be really good in this first presentation?
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lawrence, for this opportunity to be here and to share this information with fellow veterans. There's three things that I would recommend. The first is, I just demonstrated one of them, is to thank the individual who has given you the opportunity to speak today, and let them know that you're excited to be a part of the team. The other is that keep in mind that being nervous is normal. Even if you've been at the company for years, being nervous is going to be normal, getting up and speaking in front of others, especially in front of your peers. I've been training people for a very long time, and what I've heard is that people have more trouble speaking in front of their peers than they do with people that they don't know. So being nervous is normal. Because this is a prepared speech, you have time to practice. You also have time to take some deep breathing, possibly, maybe go to the bathroom or a private part. Well, now many of these meetings being virtual, going to someplace in your home and doing some deep breathing, exercising, and so on. Certainly practicing your speech. And another thing that's really important to remember is that everybody in that room wants you to be successful. Many times, the speaker is the only one who is thinking that they're going to fail with this presentation. The third thing I would recommend is take command of the stage. Now, if you are physically in the room, I would say to stand as far center as you can. Stand not necessarily at attention, but certainly without shifting your feet and so on, because body language, 93% of our message comes from nonverbals. So if someone is fidgeting, if they have a lack of eye contact, if they're a ping pong ball going back and forth on the stage, all of those things can say something either negative or positive to their audience. Eye contact, extremely important, especially in the Zoom world. When you're doing your introduction, look directly into that camera. When you're addressing your audience, look directly into the camera. And finally, vocal variety. So I would say three things. Thank the person who has invited you to speak. Being nervous, it's normal. Don't worry about it. Work through it. Think of nervousness as excitement. And finally, take command of the stage.
There's a lot of resources available to folks. Are there any in particular you'd recommend?
Well, that's a great question. There's tons of information on how to be a great presenter. One of the places I'd recommend is checking out Toastmasters, toastmasters.org. Even if you don't become a member of Toastmasters, there is a ton of free resources available on their site, toastmasters.org. I would also recommend, especially if you're new at presenting, if presenting is going to be something that you're going to be doing periodically or a lot in your business or in the company that you're working for, I would highly recommend checking out toastmasters.org for resources.
Oh, that's great. And I know you're on LinkedIn too, and you often put up articles about this. So how can folks follow you on LinkedIn?
Well, great question. On LinkedIn, if you do a search on LinkedIn for David Doerrier, Doerrier, guaranteed you will not find another one. If you do, let me know about it, because if you search Doerrier, you'll probably find my brothers and sisters on there. But do a search on LinkedIn for David Doerrier, and you'll definitely find me.
Thank you, David.